So by the time you've watched this video, it will already have been New Year's Eve, New Year's Day. The new year 2023 will be upon us. I've talked quite a bit about listening and remembering we have two ears, one mouth, and being sincere and more engaged, and so forth and so on. It made me think of, or reminded me of, the question of New Year's resolutions. Now, for many years, I'd write a big list of resolutions at the beginning of each year. And that was kind of a tradition for me. I'm a goal setter. I like writing lists and trying to check things off and so forth and so on. But for many years, I'd write resolutions. And after a few weeks or months or even days, they'd kind of fall by the wayside. I was too busy working, too busy focusing on, what was going on or the goals or whatever, that the resolutions kind of fell by the wayside. And I know many of us can relate to that, whether they're weight loss goals or relationship goals, financial goals, whatever the case might be. I decided about 5 or 6 years ago to have one resolution each year. And I will tell you, since I started down that path and I made that goal to have one goal, everything has changed. Our business has changed. My relationships have changed. My health continues to get better. Our finances continue to get better. So many things in our lives have absolutely changed in that short time, and they continue to. We've got projects on our plate that I can't even imagine. I couldn't have comprehended, let's say, 5 years ago, the projects that we are now a part of. I'll give you just one example. I spoke about this a few weeks back about the Africa import pre-IPO that we're a part of with Ward Holdings. They expect to create 40 million jobs, and a public offering that could parallel Apple, Google, many of these enormous organizations because of what they're doing and how they're doing it. We're providing supply chain funding for them. We're involved in their project. It's a project that is going to change history, and we have been invited to have a seat at that table and be a part of it. And it's almost overwhelming to think about. As we discuss this, though, let me tell you what my one resolution is. I made a goal to listen to every prompting. Call it impressions or insights. Could be listening to every person that you're with, to truly listen to them. Now, when I talk about promptings and impressions, you may think I'm referring to something spiritual, and I am. I mean, I believe that we can be guided and directed in our lives. I believe we receive impressions and personal revelation, personal guidance, direction, insights, promptings, so forth and so on. I believe that those kinds of prods or pushes and pulls, those types of helps are there for us always, if we just take the time to recognize them. I have a good friend named Jack Gonzalez that I know from church, and he talks about how we can each receive personal direction, and it is always there. It's just whether we're listening for it. Whatever you want to call it, God, the universe, the higher power. His comment was that he is always speaking. He's always trying to guide us and help us in our lives. More often than not, we're too busy or too tired or too stressed or too noisy to listen. But when we do take the time to listen, extraordinary things happen. That was my resolution, my New Year's resolution, to have one resolution, to listen to every one of those promptings, those impressions that come. When you get that thought that says, don't forget your extra keys, right? How often have we ignored it, gone out the door, locked our keys in our car, and thought, man, I should have brought my extra keys. I had a thought to do that. Well, what's interesting about it is this develops in us a skill that is very much an acquired skill. It's a skill that we can get better at if we work at it. I believe we receive more guidance, more direction, the more we pay attention to it. Kind of like God is saying, yeah, if you'll listen, I'll give you more. If you ignore me, maybe I'll back up a little. Whether you believe in that or not. I know there's those of us out there who don't believe in a higher power. Maybe we're atheists. Maybe we have different sorts of dogmas and beliefs and credos. It doesn't matter, right? We all have had those nagging thoughts, impressions, reminders. We've all had insights that have told us to go a certain direction, to back up, to say something, to do something, to be something. I believe the more we listen to those, the better we get at listening to them, the better we get at hearing them, the more we develop this relationship of trust with that higher power. I know it because I've seen it in my life. It absolutely affects my relationships, my business, and more. And I'm truly grateful for that knowledge. I'll leave that with you. It's my one New Year's resolution I hope you'll consider as well. It can absolutely change your life. I wish the very best. Happy New Year and take care of yourself.